Well, I guess I ought to tell you what's going on. These 5 units will remain on the layout. I still have my 2 steamers and the one from Sparky. Yeah, Sparky 107, 107, and look who's on TV. Hey, DJ, if you even watch this. I'm working on reprogramming all these so they all run at 30 miles an hour when at 50 on the speed setting and 60 miles an hour when at 100. My old Pro cab's kind of got a busted screen on it. So it's going about 30 miles an hour right now, between 30 and 32. And that's 302. All of them are programmed to that speed setting. They won't consist anymore because this thing's about done. I need to get an SB5. But this is my test layout. My test layout actually runs on 8-inch radius curves. This 8-inch radius curves, the only thing it runs on there is 4-axle diesels, which is all I really like. My steam engines won't even run on this, and that's a 440 and a 260. They are derailment prone to this. So this is my layout. It's a 67-inch run of track. And that mark there is where I start and stop my timer to figure out what speed it's actually going. And I use an app called Scale Speed. When it passes that line, I hold a button down. And when it gets back to that line, I release the button. It tells me how fast the train's going. 60 miles an hour is maximum, but I would rather do 45, which would be 75 on the speed steps as a maximum, as I do run a class 3 short line. Now, prototypically, a lot of Maryland Midland's main line was between 25 and 30 miles an hour. Literally. There was very few places where we could go over 30 miles an hour. So that's why I set them up that way. Even my Katos have been knocked down from their 140 mile an hour top end to 60 miles an hour at 100 speed steps. So I don't like running them full throttle. I don't even like running them 3/4, but that Atlas there, I don't know if it's just because it's brand new and really hasn't ran, is slow. It only does about 65 miles an hour on the top end. All of them are speed matched, and that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just sitting here relaxing. Good old cup of tea there. My Pro cab set up with my Wi-Fi trax in the house right now. On the floor you see the USB converter cable, and that ran to my laptop, which died on me, so that was fun. And I was running JMRI, and JMRI is not complicated, but it is a learning curve. It took me a little while to figure it all out, but once I had it, bam, it was so easy to program all these by the speed tables. That's an NCE decoder in there, and there's 2 Digitrax, well, there's 4 Digitrax decoders in those 4. 90 and 91 are both addressed to 90. 90 is the lead unit, so 91 is reverse. And then behind there is 100 and 101, and again, 101 is the reverse. They're both programmed to 100. So they will constantly be immued together. They are not to be separated. So I can run them in consist with each other to make a 4-unit lash up if I need to, but I'd rather not. And 302 will hopefully find 301 and 300. If anybody's got those shells, I will gladly buy them. If anybody's got the whole locomotive, I will gladly buy that. Atlas produced those in 1996, and I'm still looking for its 2 sister engines. I'm also going to be getting 3 GP9 high noses to paint in that sheen too. Unfortunately, nobody ever produced those, and those are Maryland Midland's 200 series, 200, 201, and 202. I'm also looking for 102. 102 is a Whitcomb white, and Pico just produced it in HO scale. I'm hoping somebody produces it in N scale with the slant cab, because I need that model. And then I will have a full roster of Maryland Midland equipment. A lot of them will be marked up for Maryland Central. Now, I did find on Highball Graphics that they do have Maryland Midland decals. However, they do not have locomotive decals, except for Ginseng and Wyoming. Due to the fact Ginseng and Wyoming fired me because I was under the age of 21 and working for the Maryland Midland, I don't want Ginseng and Wyoming paint scheme. I would rather have the good old blues. 2060 is a GP38-3 that was repainted. I believe it was either 303 or 304 that was repainted. In 2000 or 2001, I think it was probably, could have been 2002. I got lucky in the middle of the night and just decided to go on a bike ride. Middle of the night, I wind up on Y Road in Keymar to see Maryland Midland's 301 leading the charge with four brand new GP38-3s that were still white and black painted in the middle of the night from a rebuild company. And that was a heck of a surprise, because I don't think anybody knew that Maryland Midland had even bought new locomotives. And those were numbered 303 through 307. So yes, that was a big bump in motive power that was bought, because we knew that Lehigh Portland Cement was about to start boosting production due to the Lehigh Space Shuttle being built and completed in 2004. We call it the Lehigh Space Shuttle locally because it looked like they was literally building a space shuttle, but it's just one giant blower to collect concrete dust, so that way they can put it back in the train cars and in the trucks that leave Lehigh Portland Cement Union Bridge. That was cool to watch being built while I was working for the Maryland Midland. Unfortunately, right before the completion of that, due to the fact that Maryland Midland stock price was so low at that point in time, Ginseng and Wyoming bought every share they could and took over the railroad. That's why Ginseng and Wyoming has a completely bitter taste in my mouth. So you'll hear me badmouth them, but it's personal, as I was low man on the totem pole for Maryland Midland. They was looking for an excuse. I caught the flu right after returning to work after an accident that had me on medical leave. And the day I was going to the doctor to see what I had, the next day I go to the post office and I've got a letter saying I'm fired, and that was a Saturday. So that was lovely, because I forgot to call in on Friday. I left a note for my brother on the countertop to call in for me because I couldn't even barely speak. And the note fell off the counter and wound up underneath the refrigerator while he was fixing his coffee that morning, as he was staying with me in my apartment. And yeah, so they got their excuse because of an illness. I no longer work for the Maryland Midland. I decided I was just going to join the Army, say the heck with it, and that's how my life turned out. So I still love the railroad. I still love the original railroad, because I used to watch these trains pass by my house every day. Matter of fact, they'd even block my tractors from going across down to the lower meadow. So Maryland Midland has always been a big part of my life. Y'all have a good one. I just figured I'd show you what I'm doing. And thank you, DJ, for the modeling tips. And thank you, Sparky, for the Canadian Pacific locomotive that's in that tackle box. And yes, I do keep all my models in tackle boxes when I'm not running them. So have a good one.